Hello, Math 1 students. This work and these notes and this practice is for April 2nd. Just a reminder, if you're having any troubles with this, please email either me, Miss Bonilla, or Miss Castillo, okay? So I'm going to go into that shapes by characteristics. Again, this is that form that we filled out with you guys all week, all right? And we left off here the slope formula. Now the slope I think people are better at because they've seen this before. Remember that slope, that's just that rise over the run, okay? And the rise is how far up and down. The run is how far left and right. So the up and down is the y values, and the left and right is the x values. To find the slope given 2 points, we just take the y of the second point minus y of the first. That's our top number, our numerator. And then our x of the second point minus x of the first point. That's our bottom number, our denominator, and we have a fraction, and we reduce it, okay? They want us to continue to use these exact same points from here. So 2, 3, and 6, negative 1. So let's get that 2, 3, 6, negative 1, okay? All you gotta do, call 1.1 and 1.2 and plug them in. So y of the second point is negative 1 minus y of the first point, negative 1 minus 3. Then x of the second point, 6, minus x of the first point, 2. And we get this, and 1 minus, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. 6 minus 2 is 4, okay? And so I'm going to show you something real quick here. When you get a fraction, you're always going to have maybe a negative number on top, positive number on bottom, which we have here. Or you're going to get a positive number on top and a negative number on bottom. So when the signs are different, the answer is negative, or a negative slope. If you had a negative over a negative number, or a positive over a positive number where the signs are the same, the answer is positive, all right? So what they're saying here is negative 4 divided by 4. So negative 4 divided by positive. Negative divided by positive, our answer is negative. 4 over 4 reduces to 1, or negative 1, okay? And what negative 1 as a slope means, if we had a point somewhere, to find the next point, we would go down 1 point, or 1 box over 1 box, and that would be a point. Down 1 over 1, that would be a point. Down 1 over 1, so that creates a negative 1 of a slope of that line, okay? Pretty simple. Again, we're using the x1, x2, y1, y2 all the time. You could always come back to this form, all right? Hopefully you've been filling it out with me. So now we're going to go into your worksheet today, and it says find the slope of the line through each pair of points. So we're given those 2 points. So the first thing you want to do is write the formula. If you don't remember, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? You could always go back to the other form, but you want to put it on there. So all we're going to do is call 1.1 and 1.2 and do our work. So I'm going to change some colors here. So y of the second point is negative 19 minus y of the first point, negative 16. All right? Don't forget that negative, that subtraction in there, okay? There's where we're going to need our calculator. So now we're going to do the denominator. So the x of the second point, negative 12, minus x of the first point, negative 6. So I'm going to grab my calculator here. All right, you should have the Calculate 84 app, but I'm going to take negative 19. I'm going to subtract negative 16. I get negative 3 on top. Clear that out. Take negative 12 minus negative 6, and I get negative 6. Again, negative over a negative means the signs are the same, so my answer is going to be positive. all right? And 3 over 6 reduces to 1/2. Okay, pretty simple. Now this part here, there's a lot of negatives, so just be careful, use your calculator. But I want to come down to number 9, okay? Number 9, find the slope of each line, which is find the slope between these 2 points that they're giving you, okay? And so because they're doing it, they're giving you those 2 points, you have to name those points. So the point up here, at the top point, x is 1, y is 4. Positive 1, positive 4. Okay? Let me get rid of that. Now the bottom point here, the x is 2, but the y is negative 1. 2, negative 1. You guys are good at finding coordinates. Now, just do your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. A lot of x2s, y2s, and all that, but just remember you can use your formula sheet, all right? Which is what you want to follow every time. So call this point 1 and this point 2. Pretty simple. So let's change colors one more time. Y of the second point minus y of the first point over x of the second point minus x of the first point. Negative 1 minus 4. Put it into your calculator, you're going to get negative 5. Okay? 2 minus 1 is positive 1. So negative over a positive means I'm going to have a negative slope, and 5 over 1 reduces to just 5. And you can see that this line from left to right is moving downhill or in a negative fashion. That's why it's a negative slope. And again, number 9, scroll down to the bottom, check your answer on number 9. There you got it. Okay? So that's slope, whether you're finding it between 2 points given to you or on a coordinate graph and they give you the points, you just need to find out what those points are. Now we're going to practice some stuff we've already done, the distance formula. Okay? If you don't remember the distance formula, remember you can always go back to this form here. Here's your distance formula, okay? And here's your midpoint formula. All right, hopefully you can remember those. If not, we'll work it together. The distance formula equals the big square root. We're going to have x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So here all you got to do is find that point and find that point and then plug in everything, okay? So let's find the first point. Let's call this one up here point 1. So we're going to go back 1, 2, 3. So x is negative 3. And then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The y is 5. We'll call this point 2. So the x, there is no left or right. It's just x is 0. And the y is down 3, negative 3. So using that big formula, all right, the distance between those 2 points is, all right, x, I'll change colors again, x of the second minus x of the first squared plus y of the second, negative 3, minus y of the first, 5 squared. So if you do 0 minus a negative 3, you get 3. If you do negative 3 minus 5, you get negative 8. 3 squared is 9. Negative 8 squared is 64. 9 plus 64 is 73. And now we definitely need our calculator here. So I'm going to take the square root of 73. And I'm going to get 8.4. Oh, wrong. 8.5. 5, 4, 4, 0. We want to round to the nearest tenth. So here's the 10th place. Check to the right. Is that 5 or above? Nope. So we keep this all the same. 8.5. And so that's number 13. Come on down. And number 13, 8.5. Pretty simple. Okay, so we're going to have some of those, just distance formula. Now we have the midpoint formula. All right, again, let's go back. Midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So we go back to our midpoint, and our midpoint is x2 plus x1 over 2. That's 1 point. Y2 plus y1 over 2. And remember, we're finding a coordinate. All right? So find the midpoint. Let's do number 18. Okay? So on number 18, we have this point, which is here. We're going to go back 4. So that's -4, down 3, -3. Let's check again. 4, -3. There you go. Then we have this point, which is, let's get rid of this junk, which is over 5, down 5. So x is 5, y is -5. All right? And now all we do is use the formula. All right? Let's see here. So let's find the x coordinate. So x2, let's call this point 1, point 2. So x2, which is 5, plus x1, which is -4, over 2. That's going to be, this is our new x value. 5 plus -4 is 1 over 2. So it is 1/2. So in our answer, the x value is 1/2. Now we got to find the y value. So the y's is just y of the second value. So the new y is -5 plus y of the first one, -3 over 2. -5 plus -3 is -8. Divided by 2 is -4. So that's a whole number. Okay? So basically, they're saying 1/2 -4 is the midpoint. Right in that area. I think I'm right. Let's see, 18. Yep, 1/2 -4. Okay? And that's how you do your midpoint. And you've done those already. And then last but not least, I'm not going to go through these, but I want you to tell me which quadrilateral. These are quads. All right, you either have, the only thing I'm going to tell you is these are tick marks, meaning the opposite sides or every side with one tick mark is congruent, okay? If it has 2 tick marks, it's only congruent with sides with 2 tick marks. But what you see here are arrows. Arrows mean parallel. So 2 arrows means it's parallel with 2 arrows. 1 arrow means it's parallel with 1 arrow. So tell me the best descriptive of those. Pretty simple, okay? I'm not going to go into it, but if you recall, if you go all the way back up to the top here, we have our quadrilaterals, all right? And we have some things about this that might help you as well, okay? That's it for today. Again, if you need any help, let me know. We will be having a quiz on Friday. It'll be multiple choice, but you'll be able to use all your notes that you want.